welcome to the Planning and Economic Development Committee of Wednesday, July 15th. I'd like to call this meeting to order and ask the clerk to conduct a roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Badaway.
Present.
Councillor Campion. Councillor Foster.
I am present.
Councillor Greenwood.
Present.
Acting Regional Chair Height.
Present.
Councillor Jordan. Councillor Junkin. Councillor Kaiser.
Present.
Councillor Morocco.
Present.
Councillor Olson.
Present.
Councillor Redicott.
Here.
Councillor Rigby.
Present.
Councillor Cisco.
In attendance.
Councillor Steele. Councillor Ugolini.
Present.
Councillor Witteveen.
Present.
And we have regrets today from Councillors Bateman and Gannan, Chair.
Thank you. Niagara region is situated on treaty land. This land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Adirondack, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. The regional municipality of Niagara stands with all Indigenous people, past and present, in promoting the wise stewardships of the lands in which we live. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest for today's meeting? Seeing none, there are no items for consideration. We do have a presentation, a consent item for information, ED 6-2026. I'll call on Matthew McKinty, Economic Development Officer, for their presentation respecting Agricultural Action Plan update. Thank you, Matthew.
Good afternoon, Chair Seaborn and the Planning and Economic Development Committee. Thank you very much for having me today. My name is Matt McGinty, and I'm an Economic Development Officer here at Niagara Region. My role involves a specific focus on the agricultural sector here in the region, as well as supporting area municipalities that don't have economic development at a municipal level. The purpose of today's presentation is to update PEDC on the progress and implementation of the Grown in Niagara Agricultural Action Plan, as well as broader agricultural sector support activities. Agriculture is identified as a core sector for development and support in Niagara Region's 10-year economic development strategy. Niagara Economic Development continues to implement the Agricultural Action Plan through workforce development initiatives, ag tech and innovation support, municipal and sector coordination, investment attraction, infrastructure advocacy, as well as support for value-added agriculture and agritourism. Over the reporting period, Niagara Economic Development strengthened relationships with agribusinesses, sector organizations, municipalities, post-secondary institutions, provincial ministries, and industry partners to enable long-term sector competitiveness and resilience. A quick bit of background, Niagara hosts a strong and diverse agribusiness sector that contributes significantly to the regional economy and quality of life. The region continues to attract investment and expansion opportunities across agricultural and agri-food industries. Niagara Region supports the sector through policy, sector outreach, workforce development initiatives, as well as investment attraction activities focused on long-term competitiveness and resilience. Niagara Region's official plan recognizes agriculture as an essential component of the regional economy and supports agricultural lands for farming, processing, researching and development, as well as agritourism. Here's a quick infographic that's taken from Niagara Economic Development's most recently published agricultural profile. The graphic highlights top farm types by revenue, total GDP impact, as well as employment impact, among other things you can see there. The complete agricultural profile can be found at niagaracanada.com. A quick background, in 2022, Niagara Region began implementing its 10-year economic development strategy. The strategy itself was one of Regional Council's strategic priority projects, falling under Priority 1, supporting businesses and economic growth. Within that strategy, agriculture is identified as a core sector for development and support. As a result, in 2023, Niagara Economic Development commissioned a targeted strategy to advance the agricultural sector. The result was the creation of the Grown in Niagara Agricultural Action Plan, which is a comprehensive blueprint for a future of agriculture in the region. It's a 5-year roadmap for competitiveness and sustainability, as well as a commitment to strengthening connections within the sector. It was developed with input from a range of sector partners, including operators, municipal leaders, research institutes, marketing boards and associations, as well as other local organizations. The plan sets out 5 key success factors. The success factors are building a unified identity, reducing red tape, protecting agricultural talent, and embracing and inspiring the next generation, attracting high-value agri-based investment, as well as proactively embracing a changing climate. Under each of these success factors, actions were developed that were realistic to achieve and will drive progress in the agricultural sector. These include actions like strengthening relationships between our partners, attracting new market opportunities, promoting sustainable practices, advancing innovation and technology adoption, as well as enhancing the region's overall competitiveness across Ontario, Canada, as well as other countries in the global marketplace. In Appendix 1, you'll see a Grown in Niagara Agricultural Action Plan summary that quickly highlights the success factors and some of the action items. Plan implementation began in Q4 of 2024 through internal department consultation, review of existing initiatives and works in progress, as well as engagement with sector partners. During this period, the Niagara Federation of Agriculture was confirmed as the industry lead for the plan and to act as the unified voice for the sector, which was Initiative 1.1, of course, with support from Niagara Economic Development. This partnership with the NFA helps ensure that the Agricultural Action Plan initiatives remained aligned with current industry priorities and sector needs. In 2025, the Ag Action Plan was made publicly available through Niagara Economic Development channels. Niagara Economic Development officially announced a partnership with the Niagara Federation of Agriculture to be that industry lead on implementation of the key recommendations within the Agricultural Action Plan. Niagara Economic Development then coordinated with the NFA on the development of a website refreshing project to help publicly position the NFA as the primary voice of industry. A draft sponsorship agreement outlining deliverables, expectations, and Niagara Economic Development recognition was established to provide guidance and next steps on the project. Niagara Economic Development created a 1-page summary marketing piece that would highlight the Agricultural Action Plan strategic initiatives, and then developed a layout for a more in-depth visual marketing piece to support the plan, as well as support investment attraction. Further, in 2025, Niagara Economic Development coordinated with Niagara College to develop the framework for a regional agricultural education initiative. This initiative would focus on showcasing careers in agriculture for a planned 1,500 to 2,000 elementary and high school students. Programming would highlight agriculture's connection to food systems, science, technology, as well as innovation, while increasing the awareness of overall modern agricultural careers and workforce opportunities. This partnership would enable experiential learning as well as real-world learning opportunities that would connect students to modern agricultural practices and careers. Niagara Economic Development held preliminary discussions with the Niagara Falls Innovation Hub to partner on their 2026 Niche Agricultural Innovation Forum, featuring ag tech, and would have a farmer, operator, and grower adoption technology focus. Niagara Economic Development also coordinated with the region's strategic initiatives team to help create public awareness of the Niagara irrigation strategy. Niagara worked with local broadband suppliers to understand the barriers that were in the way to advance regional access to broadband, as rural broadband is considered foundational infrastructure for modern agriculture. The Niagara region also hosted the 2025 International Plowing Match and Rural Expo. Niagara Economic Development was the project lead on behalf of the region and led collaboration and coordination across many regional departments, area municipalities, as well as external partners. Niagara Economic Development coordinated an on-site regional presence, which showcased several regional resident programs and also included the Agricultural Action Plan as well as the Niagara Irrigation Initiative. This work helped successfully deliver a high-profile international event that supported our rural communities, the agricultural sector overall, and offered positive regional visibility. On to 2026, significant progress has been made through the provincial's Universal Broadband Fund initiative, a major project contract was awarded to Rogers, which will bring high-speed fiber internet to much of Niagara by approximately 2028. Niagara Economic Development also hosted the Innovation Norway Global Growth Agri-Food Delegation, advancing foreign direct investment opportunities within the agricultural sector. This Niagara Economic Development-led tour included 13 delegates from 8 Norwegian agri-food and agri-tech companies and showcased Niagara's research capabilities, post-secondary support, as well as the agribusiness and agri-food ecosystem here in the region. Niagara Economic Development also partnered with the Niagara Falls Innovation Hub and the Greater Niagara Chamber of Commerce to facilitate development of the 2026 Niche Agricultural Innovation Forum. This event was originally scheduled for this June, but has since been postponed as the date coincided with the services of the passing of a prominent figure in Niagara's agricultural community. The event will move forward later this year and will feature the same programming, including the showcasing of ag tech innovation, local industry tech adoption, as well as tech demonstrations and industry roundtable and panel discussion. This year, Niagara Economic Development and Niagara College continue active implementation of the Regional Agricultural Education Initiative. This initiative includes 2 program streams, the first being an exploration stream for grades 8 to 10 that's focused on agricultural career awareness, as well as exposure to Niagara's agricultural sector. The second stream is a hands-on stream, which is grade 11 and 12, as well as specialist high school major focused on applied learning and direct industry interaction. Some of the key implementation activities included in the development of this program was the program structure workshop framework, industry engagement, identification of workshop themes, communications and promotional planning, as well as launch strategy development and engagement with greenhouse operators and industry partners to support workforce alignment and participation. Niagara Economic Development will continue implementing the Agricultural Action Plan through sector coordination, irrigation advocacy, infrastructure advocacy, supporting agribusiness growth, as well as investment attraction. Additional efforts will include sector promotion, technology adoption, partnership development, funding coordination, permitting improvements, and continued alignment between regional and municipal agricultural initiatives. Moving on to overall agricultural sector engagement and support. Throughout this reporting period, Niagara Economic Development attended several agricultural conferences, trade shows, and industry events to advance sector intelligence gathering, investment attraction, relationship building, and awareness of emerging technologies and trends. Some of these included the World Ag Expo, the Outdoor Farm Show, the Ontario Grain Farmers March Classic, as well as several fruit and vegetable growers conferences and the Leamington Greenhouse Growers Convention. Niagara Economic Development also attended several annual general meetings, as well as holds current memberships with several agricultural organizations that you can see here. Niagara Economic Development also partnered with the Ministry of Rural Affairs to develop and coordinate the Niagara Funders Forum. This was a funding-focused event intended to strengthen awareness of provincial and federal funding initiatives that were coming down to help support Niagara's business support ecosystem. The session supported those working directly with businesses, projects, and communities across Niagara by providing insights into current funding opportunities, program eligibility, as well as application processes. The idea behind this event was to inform our informers. As part of the event, attendees heard directly from staff from all of the displayed ministries and federal agencies listed here. Niagara Economic Development will continue implementing the Agricultural Action Plan over the next several years through sector coordination, irrigation and infrastructure advocacy, agribusiness growth, as well as investment attraction. Additional efforts will include sector promotion, tech adoption, partner development, permitting improvements, and continued alignment between regional and municipal agricultural initiatives. Thank you so much, and I'm happy to take any questions from the committee.
Thank you, Matt. Do we have any questions for our presenter? Councillor Morocco.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Matthew, I was just curious to see how, if you know the answer to my question, how much farmland is sitting idle in the Niagara region that's not being worked or cultivated?
Through the chair, I don't have that information at the top of my hands. I'm sure I could figure it out and get back to you. It'll just have to be at a later date.
Okay. Madam Chair, through you, then the next question is how many farms are being used? I think that is in the presentation that
There's
are
a total of about 1,651 active farms.
through
but I
the
don't-
Niagara region.
Yeah, through Niagara region, yeah. But I don't know how many additional farms there are potentially available to work.
That brings me to another question, Madam Chair, through you. Is the farming industry thriving? Are they struggling? I'm just curious to see, because I think it's very important to support our agricultural industry.
Through the chair, it's a tough question because, when I first started here, the farming community was really, really happy to have somebody that cared and someone was put in a position to advance the agricultural sector. So I can say since I've been here, the general consensus is it is getting better. They are happy to have regional support, so I can speak to that. There are other obstacles, macroeconomic things that get in the way. But overall, I feel like with technology adoption, if we can get over some of the high capital costs that it takes to get farmers in the business of tech adoption, and I believe that through the federal government's new food strategy, that there are going to be some grants and initiatives coming forward to help get new technology in the hands of farmers that will ultimately make them more profitable and
Okay, thank
more
you.
effective.
Thank you for your presentation. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Counselor. Next, we have Counselor Redekop.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you for the presentation. What is the budget for the action plan, the total budget?
The budget is decided year by year, and it comes from our existing Niagara economic development budget from our strategic initiatives line.
And how much has been allocated, if I might share, to the action plan for 2026?
For 2026, I believe I can turn it over to Marco Marino, my associate director. It falls under his budget line.
Through you, Chair. Thank you for the question, Councillor. We've allocated $15,000 for implementation for the last year. And as Matt suggested, we look at it on a year-by-year basis to see what strategic initiatives we may be able to apply to specific recommendations of the plan. And we're looking at coordinating efforts with the Niagara Federation of Agriculture, who, as Matt indicated in his presentation, is taking a lead on implementation.
So in that context, what is the budget for economic development at the region?
I can answer that. Through the chair, the regional budget, total regional budget economic development is about 2.8 million.
And do we have any concerns about the loss of agricultural lands to developers as opposed to the consolidation of farmlands by farmers?
Through the chair, that's a good question. I believe that in Niagara region specifically, there is a strong desire to preserve our agricultural land. So from what I see, I believe that the farmers will fight to keep their land, and it's a thriving sector here. It's a core sector here. So, there's always the threat from outside influence, but other than that, I can't speak too much to that.
I think it would be helpful if we had that kind of information to know how much money we should be allocating to this. $15,000 doesn't sound like a lot of money out of a $2.8 million budget, but I don't know what the risks are. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Counselor. Next, Counselor Winneveen, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I guess I just add some comments here and to Mayor Redekop. Maybe can shed some light on his question on, on our, I guess, securing our agriculture base. Is when we did our regional growth plan, we chose areas of our region that, let's say, were less attractive for agriculture. And so we put our next 30 years worth of growth, establishing that growth in areas to let developers know where we would like to see that growth and through that discussion, we also had the ability to protect our natural heritage or conservation in our farmland through that process. So I believe that helped in taking pressure off consuming farmland by dedicating other areas of our our region for growth opportunities. So hopefully that will shed some light. And I just want to make some comments on Matt and his team. They've been great with, as I'm a director on the Niagara Federation of Agriculture for many years, that it's been great to work with the economic development and Matt on taking the lead to basically grow this I guess execute this action plan on behalf of the region and the agriculture community. And Matt's been a great champion in helping us get ourselves set up and be part of this. And also just want to say, Mayor Redicop, through you, Madam Chair, that we are also members of the Golden Horseshoe Food and Farming Alliance, which we allocate funds, which Matt's involved in. Myself, actually, I chair that committee at the 6 regions within the GTA, and we look at growing agri-food and opportunities and creating data points of where those businesses are, and that creates a pipeline for the region to tap into as to what opportunities are in the GTA for our farmers, and help them grow and make those connections with this group. So and we've seen some growth, like in Port Colborne. The mayor, Bill Steele, if he is here, we're seeing growth again in that renewal of our H2O highway, and giving farmers the opportunity to market their products there at the port facilities there in Port Colborne. And so I would say the agribusiness is doing well. It always has challenges, but generally, from an overview in agriculture, we are holding our own. Farmers never like to boast about how well they do, so I have to kind of always say that we're always working to improve and doing our best in all the challenges that we have to deal with. So again, I just wanted to thank Matt and his team for working with the local farmers and in promoting us and helping us find new opportunities. So thank you, Madam Chair, for the indulgence.
Thank you, Councillor Witteveen. Next, we have Councillor Foster.
Yes, thank you, Chair, and through to Matthew. So, first of all, thank you for the presentation, as everyone else has said. And I have a long history in agriculture with my family, although I have to admit I have not been following terribly carefully some of the initiatives that have been going on in Niagara. So it's great that you've laid these out all very clearly for us. You mentioned broadband going in and through it, and so both for you and for the Economic Development Group, it might be worthwhile having me come in and have a discussion with you guys. I am the representative on the SWIFT board, and I've been a party to a number of things that are going on with those files that may be of interest to you. So if we can arrange a time, it might be worthwhile doing that. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Foster. Next, we have Councillor Olson.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Matthew Ford, for your presentation. Through you, Chair. The Norwegian delegation, they came here, and what was the nature of were they suppliers or users, or what were they, our agriculture processors? What were they generally?
Through the chair, thank you for the question. They were a mix of agri-food and agri-tech companies. So one of them was from a company called Circustad that was probably Norway's oldest agricultural equipment supplier. So they were looking potentially, there's always potential for them to come here. That's our first sort of line of business, is encouraging for foreign direct investment. But with any sort of investment leads, they like to kind of come and see the lay of the land here as well. But there were several food processors as well. There was a company called Nutrishell, which extracts protein from eggshells. So we paired them up with a local poultry farmer. Some of them represented Nordtech, which is an ag tech cluster in Norway. So we paired them up with our Niagara Falls Innovation Hub, and they got along swimmingly. It was a great comparison of likes on each side. I believe that there's still some interest in a potential research project from one of the groups that was here as well, and they've been speaking with Niagara College in Vineland as well. So agri-food, agri-equipment, and agri-innovation.
Okay, through you, Chair, so what were they looking for? Joint ventures or investment or?
Oh, through the chair. So through that, that original landing was set up through Innovation Norway. And basically they are looking for partners, potentially customers, but potentially partners as well. So it was a mix of both. There was a strong FDI component on our side as always, but there is opportunity to showcasing Niagara's ecosystem for future, partnerships as well on various different levels. But it was a mix of both.
And through you, Chair, and what level of technology was this at? Was this at AI or what was it, or robotics and that type of thing?
Through the chair, it was a mix of both. There were several AI companies involved as well. There were some greenhouse lighting companies as well, so controlled environment agriculture companies as well. And then there was also some precision ag companies as well. There was a company that focused specifically on leveling out fields, as well as traditional agriculture equipment like through Surgestad, like I mentioned.
And was there anybody there from tourism, agriculture tourism, or anything like that?
Through the chair, we had at our welcoming ceremony, we had the Lincoln Economic Development Team as well as there. And so I know that they have a focus on tourism, but not specific tourism organizations. It was more of an economic development focused initiative.
Okay, and through you, Chair, second question. I see you refer to the Niagara Greenhouse Growers Committee. Have they not organized themselves for beyond that now, beyond a committee?
Through the chair, I believe that they still reference themselves as the Niagara Greenhouse Growers Committee. It's a subset of Flowers Canada. Speaking to the name, I can't offer much more insight into that. Sorry.
So something like that, would we be involved in helping them get organized and get their feet under them and?
Through the chair, no, sir. We didn't help them organize that group. They were established long before I was here through a smaller group in Lincoln. I know Lincoln ECDEV will be happy to hear that they were instrumental in supporting them. But I will be seeing them on Friday at a greenhouse expansion open house as well. So I can clarify that then.
Okay, and thank you through you, Chair. This may seem offline a little bit, but I'd like to ask why our cafeteria down there could be a model of our agriculture and cuisine, or even some improvement. I'm just want to make that point, Chair, because I was hopeful before the end of November that I would be able to take the mayors down there for lunch, and I can't take a mayor down there for lunch.
Thank you for the comment. Next, we have Acting Regional Chair Height. You're next.
Thank you. Through to the presenter, the numbers that you showed, 1.7 billion in GDP, which is an impressive number, revenue of over $1 billion in this agricultural realm. These numbers are from 2021. If we look in a crystal ball, 2026, and you want to anticipate and give us the good news, or is there good news looking in the last 4 years, what's gone on, or 5 years? Because we won't see those numbers for another year.
Through the chair, that's a great question and a correct one. Yeah, these are the latest numbers that we have available. I mean, anecdotally, that's all I can offer. I hope to see improvements in the numbers. I would be expecting improvements in the numbers, but unfortunately, we won't know until that data comes through. And I'm sure Blake Landry from our Regional Economic Development Department there will have those numbers for you as soon as he can.
Okay, and a follow-up. I asked the question regarding greenhouse being mixed in with nurseries and flowers. I was trying to get a number of food-related greenhouses versus flowers, etc., and plants. I got some information, but it doesn't break it out. Is there any way that we can see how much of the greenhouse industry is promoting food growth versus flowers and plants?
Through the chair, thank you for the question. Yeah, we did receive that, and we did put it out to our research manager. And without misquoting, I believe that the current data we have is not able to be aggregated to separate food and flowers. But I will double check for you and make sure that that's.
Well, that's the information I received. And a follow-up, and if I could ask staff, and I guess, George, if you could, the information that was sent to me could help Councillor Morocco take a look at where the trends are going, because the information I received, and it's because I asked about the greenhouses, it shows a decrease in farms related to hogs and pigs, poultry and egg. But when you look at other crops, for farming, it's gone up 300% in those 5 years. So that graph, that information might be worthy for all of committee to take a look at as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, through the chair, I could comment. Our latest agricultural profile that is available on NiagaraCanada.com does offer several sort of those different types of breakups as well. Not the specific one that you're looking for, but it does show increases from 2016 to 2021, which could be used to predict current trends as well.
Thank you. That's what I'm asking. I have that graph that could be sent to all of committee with that information.
Well, through the chair, we'll duly noted, Councillor, and we'll do that.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there any other questions to our presenter? If not, thank you, Matt, for the presentation and for being able to answer all those questions. At this time, can I get a mover and seconder for item 5.1 ED 6-2026? Councillor Olson and Councillor Ugolini. Thank you. Okay. Any discussion on the topic at all? Seeing none, then I'll call the question. Please vote electronically. Okay, thank you. So that was accepted. There are no items of other business, so there is a closed session. I'm sorry. Are there any items of other business? See, I'm a mind reader. I knew that ahead of time. Okay, so number 7 then is closed session. Do any committee members wish to discuss item 7.1, confidential report ED 7-2026 in closed session today? Okay. Councillor Redicott? Okay. Before I ask for a mover and seconder to go into closed session, I would like to remind you of your obligations respecting closed session. Those who are participating electronically in the closed session must ensure no other person is in the location from which they are taking part in the meeting, and make appropriate arrangements so that any other persons cannot see or hear any of the confidential deliberations taking place. If this is not possible, you must withdraw from the meeting until this has reconvened in open session. Can I have a mover and seconder to go into closed session? Councillor Morocco, seconded by Councillor Greenwood. Okay. All those in favor? Okay. Yeah. We're going to vote that electronically when it comes up. All right. Okay, so a couple of them weren't listening.
Chair, we don't have to go into closed session. If some of the counselors feel that we don't need to, I'll just ask staff the questions that I have. I just had a few questions.
Okay, can I get a mover and seconder for item 7.1, confidentiality, ED 7-2026? Counselor Olson, and how about Counselor Radicop? Say yes. Thank you. Okay, then I'll call the question. Please vote electronically. That's carried as well. Seeing no other matters before us today, our next meeting will be held on Wednesday, August the 12th, 2026 at 1 p.m. in Council Chamber, Regional Headquarters. We're adjourned for today. Good luck with the air quality and keep cool.